What's up, y'all? I've been busy the last couple of days reading every single guide, watching every single clear videos. Also, I read everything on the CN forums, dedicated an entire day watching Billy videos on Contingency Contract clears. I'm going to simplify everything that I've seen and read, and I'm going to include everything that was pretty much missed in other written or video guides. Of course, this would be too long if I made it into one video series, so this is going to be the part one of the Contingency Contract and some of the tips that have been passed down to us from generation to generation. So let's get right into it. Yo, what's up, squad? Welcome back to the Dome. For all you new folks out there, my name is Zeals. Woo! Before I forget, guys, I want to say, before we start, I will be doing a giveaway for an entire week. For every video that I make, there will be a giveaway. So, more on that towards the end of the video. I just want to help some people get ready for the Contingency Contract, which is why I'm making this video as well. But let's get right into it. Smash that like and subscribe. Let's go. First and foremost, what the heck is the Contingency Contract? I have talked about it since last week in a 3-part series, and this is it right here. It's pretty much the end game of Arknights, well, a taste of an end game content. This is going to be the first Contingency Contract event, and it will be returning to us in the second one. And one small disclaimer, I'm saying everything here based off the CN server. So if we are following in their path, then this is what it's going to look like. So first off, this is going to be our first Contingency Contract. There is another one that is tied with Bagpipe. For the first one, it is tied with Mostima as well as the Code of Brawl event. Now that is a completely separate event with completely new event stages, but we'll talk about it again. There's the Firewatch skin, but anyways, back to the CC. Make sure you guys don't get confused between the two. CC2 is also called CC0, so it is confusing when you do search in the YouTube search tab. So make sure you guys know the difference. We're getting the CC1. Now CC1, the event itself, it's going to last for 2 weeks. And there are 3 maps. One is the permanent map, and the other 2 are rotating daily maps. Now, obviously, because this is endgame, you want to bring the best operators that you got in their best shape and form. But that does not mean you need to go out there and E2 everybody out of your mind, and you don't need to skill 3 M3 everybody, unless, of course, you're going for the higher risk stages. And what the heck do you mean by higher risks? What? You're scaring the crap out of me, Zeals. Well, these maps, the permanent as well as the dailies, they have certain contracts tied into them. So there are some contracts that limits the amount of operators that you can bring. There are some contracts that increases all your enemies' HP or attack, things like that. But what the heck is the risk? So going back to the example, first one limits your total operators to 10. The second level, the second risk, brings that total down to 7 operators that you can bring. And then the level 3, you can bring only 4 operators. So you can see how the difficulty just goes up, ramps up with risk levels. All right, Zeal, so you got me excited and scared at the same time. You got my nipple hard. Why do I have to go through all of this? Well, you're going to get rewards depending on how well you do. You're going to get bounties based off how high you cleared for the first time. So for example, when you cleared a permanent map, also called Area 59, and you cleared it with risk level 18, you're going to get the max amount of bounties that you can get from Area 59, the permanent map. But if you clear it again, you're not going to get anything. It's not farmable. But if you want to go higher for the challenge or for the the massive EPing, then by all means, that's what this Contingency Contract is all about. But if you're just here for the rewards, good news is it is quite free-to-play friendly. Now, to get everything from the limited section from the Contingency Contract shop, you need 16,450, which is only 70% of the maximum amount of bounties that you can accumulate during the 2 weeks. Clearing risk 8 daily maps, Barren Plaza and Abandoned Tower, they rotate. And the related missions will give you 1,000 bounties per day for 13 days, which means 13,000. Woo! Complicated math. Add on top of that 11,400 that you get from the permanent map, Area 59, risk level 18. You're going to get a total of 24,400. But like I said, you only need 16,000 450 to get all the things in the CC shop, the limited section. Now, what about the unlimited section? Well, it's highly recommended from the players in the CN server to purchase the RMA-70-12, but if you need something else, then by all means, yeah. Now, if you're all about that easy, chill, beach coast, no hard mode life, you know, you're just here to just log in every day and, you know, just play with your operators, and you just want to get them a nice skin, the Siege skin from the CC limited shop, then you only need to get 3,000 bounties. So that is pretty much why we are doing the contingency contract for the rewards, and number 2 for the EP flex. Now, what about Sanity Zeals? Well, contingency contract is supposed to launch with Mostima's banner as well as Code of Brawl event. If it's spaced out on the global server, that's nice. If it's not, it's not. And yeah, so our sanity is going to go into other places. So to do the contingency contract, it is going to be 0 sanity. You can knock this out 18 hours a day. You can play until your heart's content. On my Discord, there will be a couple people that will be streaming onto Discord so that we can help people clear level 18. With that being said, if you guys are liking the guide so far, make sure you guys follow all my social links down below after the video. Yeah. Now going back to talking about the permanent stage where you'll be spending majority of your time in the area 59 ruins. I get confused myself. The first week we're going to get all the hard contracts, and in the second week it's going to be a little bit easier. They're going to add in more contracts to get higher risk levels, right? But on the global side, maybe they release everything at the same time. We don't know. Once again, this is based off the CN server. But what I'm trying to say here is that the second week, it should be a lot easier for everybody, unless you started like a week before the contingency contract event. Now, most veterans, even free to play, they will be trying to get their hands on risk level 18 completed. Bam, get all the rewards. When you get up there, you have to make an executive decision. And this is the important part. You have to either ban casters and medics from being used on the map, so you cannot use casters and medics, or you ban guards or defenders. Now I'm going to feature both teams when I actually do this, and they're perfectly viable to clear blowout level 18. But it really depends on what you have in your roster. In the part 2 of the contingency contract video series, I'll talk about the caster team, who you want to bring, and also for the guard knights, the guard and defender team. But don't worry, I'll be talking about which operators are highly used and recommended towards the end of the video as well. But we'll go more into detail in part 2 and 3 of the series. So going back, you have to make a decision: guards and defenders, or casters and medics. Well, less emphasis on the medics, because at the higher risk levels, you're not going to be able to heal through the damage that you get from the Avengers, which is the samurai dude, as well as armed militant, which is that heavy boy with the big axe. So because in the higher risks, they're doing so much damage, and we'll talk about why people are bringing the specialists for CC pushes, all that good jazz. And specialists and vanguards, they are not banned, they are universal, so you can bring them, and I'll talk about all the operators that are highly recommended. Now, which one is easier to climb with? Well, these are the records on the CN server. The guard team with defenders, the melee team, they have cleared up to risk 25 out of 29 total. The caster team, 23 out of 29 total. And both of these squads, and you know what? Even a specialist squad can smash level 18. Just Angelina with CCers, they can do it. What I'm trying to say is that you don't need a Silver Ash at E2 level 90, skill 7 M3. Holy crap, what am I talking about? Sounds like a gun. Also, with that being said, you don't need a Fiala at level 90, E2 out of her mind, skill 2 or skill 3, skill 7 M3. You don't. If you want to use one of them, you can just use the support option and just lock it in, and it's not going to change unless you manually change it. That's an awesome feature. Like I said, y'all, I saw a team based around Angelina is dope, and it's cool as hell, and pretty much when her skill pops off, she AoEs everything down. And when it's on cooldown, the specialists are working 24/7 to CC them back and back and back and rooted and slowed, whatever, until her skill is back up to clear the map. That is so finesse. That is so sick, dude. I love the different combinations. Of course, the higher you go in any game, When you go higher up in there, the choices get smaller and smaller for the most optimal units. But when we go back down from the top, there are a lot of viable options. So don't you worry. Now, another general tip that I got from the CN server players, you want to pick contracts that are obviously easier than the harder ones. Let me give you an example of a freakishly hard one. It is Pulverizing Blade. And what does that do? All Avengers and Hateful Avengers, the samurai dudes, defense increase by blah 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 blah, HP and attack, it all increases. And those dudes, they're pretty much the elites that comes with other trash enemy minions. Another hard one is the Armed Militant one that buffs the crap out of them. They get like what? Like over 90,000 HP. It's insane. It's insane. Your maxed out Silver Ash, Howling dropped on him. It's not going to shrink it down all the way. I mean, it's going to chip it, but it's not going to, it's not like the regular stages where it erases folks. I would of course pick a contract that is easier, that has something to do with your operators, like for example, lowering the max HP of my operators. Or also increasing all your enemies' HP or attack are better options too. Now, tip number 3 is, would you rather max out a contract to level 3 and then another contract only level 1? Like for example, do you want risk 3 of increasing all your enemies' HP and only risk level 1 for attack, or do you want to split it down the middle, 2-2? Generally, it's going to be 2-2. So the risk level is going to be the same, but you're going to suffer less. Generally, yeah. One of the reasons why Guard Knights do better than casters is because we get additional risks pretty much for free. What I mean by that is that you can ban certain number of tiles in the map, and of course the Guard Knights are going to be less affected by this, so they're going to be having a less issue by picking these free contracts. While the permanent stage, Area 59 Ruins, you're going to be working with a very tight set of operators. For the daily missions, the rotating maps, some of them are going to have contracts in day 3. You can check the whole list in the game press. You know what? I'll throw the link down below. You can see the entire pool of the daily stages contracts that happen on the CN side. So in the day 3, we can see that we cannot bring guards, so you cannot bring Silver Ash for the shrink, and you cannot bring defenders. So pretty much the daily stages may be harder for some folks because it's going to test out your entire roster. But once again, you only need risk level 8 for the daily stages, the rotating maps. And when the guards are banned and you cannot bring your little Silver Ash, you can bring another E1 operator instead and you'll be fine. Some of the tips that I want to give are pretty general tips that you should be doing already, like for example, grinding out trusts for your newly acquired operators or the operators that you did not give a lot of love. Also farm out some supplies, EXP, LMDs, chips, and materials. So when you go try with your roster, with your squad, and skill 7 just isn't cutting it, then you can bump it up to M1 or M2 or M3. But generally there are clears with no E2s. I'm sure they had all skills 7, but still they went in without an E2. There are also clips of 1 or 2 E2s just smashing the stage. You don't need to worry too much about it. Like I said, it's not just gonna be one setup that beats level 18. The higher you go, it pretty much turns into that. But at 18, there are so many viable compositions. So when you're out there looking at videos, don't just look at the operator. Oh man, there's a Silver Ash. I need to make a Silver Ash, or I need to get a Silver Ash. Look at what purpose that operator has. What role is it filling? Like for example, Ethan and Manticore, what are they doing? What is their role? They're pretty much delaying, slowing them, binding them until Angelina's skill is back up. Now, if I don't have a Manticore, can I still pull this off? Is there another way? That is what you should be asking yourself. Do you need to have skill 7 M3 for Ethan and Manticore? The answer is no. I mentioned highly of Spectre in the previous video, but for level 18, for the permanent map, she's not necessary. Also, Lapland, Chen, those are awesome operators. I'm not saying they're not good in the contingency contract. They're highly sought after, but if you don't have them, it's not the end of the world is what I'm trying to say here. Please keep that in mind with what I'm about to say next. I'm going to talk about the operators that are highly used and highly recommended. Now, you don't need to have all of these once again to be able to clear level 18. But here we go. There's of course Shrink, daddy of them all, Silver Ash. Of course for the heli drop, Heligar, Spectre, Scotty, Saria, Neural. There's also Gumi in there along the healing defenders, a 4-star. We also got non-healing defenders like Korra, Hoshiguma. We also got some consistent arse damage guards like Lapland, Esthesia, Moose, and Chen. Skill 2 Chen, yeah. For casters, we got Fiala, Ifrit. And for the slows and CC, we got Mostima, Angelina, Magellan. And as I said, I'm going to make a separate video on all of this, but I want to talk about the MVPs, the specialists that really make this fun. We got Feeder, we got Shaw, Ethan, and Manticore for the slows. We also got Gravel and Project Red, which you can use together for fast redeploy to tank something and get out, for your shorts to pop them off or your casters to pop them off while they remain tanked and stationary by the fast redeploy operators. Now also we gotta get some DPs from our vanguards. We got Myrtle, Siege, and Texas. Highly recommended. I'm not even talking about the daily rotation maps, which I'm going to talk about now. I'm not going to re-mention the operators I already named, but we got Vigna, we got Exia for the light armor targets, which there are plenty of in the daily rotating maps. We got Meteorite, Blue Poison, Platinum, Glaucus, and that's because we got some drone stages up in the daily rotating maps. Shining Telopsis and Nightingale, they are the go-to medics for the daily maps. We'll talk about more of this stuff in separate videos, but that's pretty much it. Whew, guys, I hope you guys had a lot of fun, man, and I hope this video was helpful. In the permanent map, it's all about making a fine-tuned driving machine. All right, your team has to work together. It's all about that, and skill management, cooldown management, popping it at the right time, making sure that your enemies are locked down or delayed until you're able to pop off again. It's all about that. For the daily maps, pretty much having a healthy, well-rounded roster. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll talk about the operators in a separate video. I want to go more deep in detail, and then I'll dissect even further when we talk about some clips. But that's gonna be it, guys. As for the giveaway, it's for the loyal viewers. You guys, make sure you guys subscribe and like the video. I'll leave all the instructions in the pinned comment. It's gonna be simple. Anybody can enter. One winner is going to take away $25 to their PayPal account, or I can buy them something when I log into their account or something like that. But anyways, it's gonna be 25 bucks. I'm going to pick anybody down below in the comment section. Anybody can enter and anybody can win, and I'll let you guys know the winner in the next video. And I'll just pick one every video until the week is over, so that some people can get ready for the contingency contract. That is the whole goal here. Make sure you guys like and subscribe once again if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out now, your boy Zeals. Peace.